Alright, ready?
Yeah.
What is up, you beautiful fuckers? Welcome to another riveting episode of Harm's Way Podcast. This is your host, Craig, my brother, Eric, and my lovely wife, Rachel, joining us for another episode today. How are you fuckers doing?
Good. How are you?
Gang, how are you? That's what we're doing.
What?
I'm fine.
Okay, now you need to work on your intros.
How are you,
I had
Eric?
an intro.
Other than fine.
What?
I had a funny intro I was going to do, but... We'll
Go ahead, hit us.
No,
hit
we'll
with
save
us.
it with another day. I got to roll right into it. So,
Alright, go ahead.
I'm doing great. We've got so many more things to talk about. I don't even know where to start.
Let's start with the fact
Some
that
of
you
it's
left
work
your
shit
list in your cargo pants at home. And now you're going to have
I
to
had so many good ideas.
dig deep.
That's like...
Sorry, guys, you'll
I
have to
used to
wait till
be-
next episode.
I used to be really pissed off about being at work on Saturday, but now it's the perfect time to just sit there and come up with shit to talk about.
Yeah, but I feel like the phrase work on Saturday is just in itself gross.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, you too,
Well-
yeah.
To be fair...
It is.
I forgot I was home.
I didn't really do a lot. I had a project that we kept putting off and putting off. Finally, we got around to it. Tex knocked it out. Just knocked it out. I didn't really do much. I was firing emails back and shit like that, and kind of doing a little bit of strategic planning. But mostly, I wrote down podcast conversation ideas.
You fucking forgot him at home.
I had them with me when I brought them over.
Eric took a little bit of a nap on our couch, which is...
I feel like the world fell apart because of that nap.
We were watching this one I want to talk about too. We were watching a confusing movie. I don't mean confusing like the plot was confusing.
It wasn't that good.
Thank you. I mean it was confusing like I don't know. It was like an awkward boner. I don't know what's going on.
It's funny you say
And
that
it just
'cause I woke up from
happens.
that nap and
You
It
had
was
an
an
awkward
awkward
boner.
boner.
yeah,
If
which
somebody-
reminds me of another topic I want to talk about.
Oh, God.
The different kind of boners. Because I want to.
No.
Didn't you ask me about that one time? You said
No.
you said there's different boners.
Different
and I was
kinds.
like,
I said this?
yeah,
I asked this?
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you asked me. You said, are there different kinds of boners?" And I didn't want to get into this big long spiel, but there is, in fact, several different kinds of boners.
I honestly don't
I didn't know
remember.
This-
I-
maybe
what
this was
can-
probably
what
from, like,
can
10 years
change
ago.
that makes it a different kind.
I don't
of boner?
know. I don't
It's
ever
either
remember asking
hard
this.
as fuck, or there's some gradient of softness there.
Right.
You
I
know?
didn't realize
And I'm
that
pretty
that's
sure
the
it's a
thing.
function of your blood pressure.
I disagree. Well, okay, that could be true, but
Well, yeah.
the mood and the setting is what determines the boner. It's not specifically the strength of the Renob. It's several other different things. It's like, I kicked that 8th grade Renob in there.
Renob.
What?
A lot of people are going
What's
to
a
be
Renob?
watching this, and by a lot of people I mean all 7 of you, and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, Renob! He said
Phallus-
Renob.
Phallus rigor mortis.
He brought Renob back.
What is Renob?
It's boner backwards."
Oh, sweet.
There he goes, making shit up again.
No, dude. Okay,
That's
somebody,
not a thing.
somebody, please back me up on this. Okay, I know I'm getting fought right now by my 2 co-hosts, but I need somebody to back me up on this. They've used and/or heard Renob. We'll leave it to the audience.
I've never heard that before.
Me
Anywho,
neither.
Okay,
Anyway.
we'll table that. There's different kinds of boners.
we'll table my Renob.
Northman sucked. Give it a,
He just used. I didn't say the name yet, or the title yet, but okay.
I give it probably a 3 out of 7.
So Eric and I, we have I'm a little partial. I love movies about Vikings and shows about Vikings and stuff. And this Northman came out 3 months ago, 4 months ago, probably maybe longer. I don't know. And they had it in the red box, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," but nobody uses fucking red box anymore. So I was like, "I'll just wait till Amazon Prime or Netflix picks it up." Sure as shit, I woke up this morning and I was like, "Oh, it's on Prime," and I legitimately was thrilled, super thrilled. And I was like, "I gotta watch this." And I started it upstairs, and then some strange homeless-looking man was knocking on our door, and Eric came over.
Every fucking time I
he's
come
the
over
host.
here, the door's locked, and the only goddamn person around is your son, who can't unlatch the door.
Charlie was so excited to see him, he ran up and then physically was just trying to rip that door off the hinges
Poor
to
kid.
get him in. And I forgot, I out of instinct, I slipped the the deadbolt.
When
And
you came home.
Yeah, with the door wide open, the garage door. So I felt bad.
I mean, no one
The
can
garage
get in
door was
the
closed
house.
when I showed up. I put it up.
He can
Oh, okay,
open
my
it.
bad. Yeah, my bad. No, I know you can open it. But anyway.
With my mind.
So, my mind's eye. Like a doll's eyes. And, dead eyes. Like a doll's eyes. And, so we came downstairs and watched the rest of it. We got like 20, 30 minutes into it, and Eric pulled a dad and was fucking in and out for a little bit.
Or me.
You roll the credits and you're out.
Opening?
No, I don't know. Yeah, the opening credits. You don't make it all the way.
It depends.
I don't know. You last a little bit longer. You and I, that was our like superpower. Is there was only a few select movies that we would pass out. Dad,
Longevity.
Dad, we'd watch the fucking previews in the movie,
He would.
and he's gone.
I used to get nervous about going to the movie theater with him because he snores like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I was always freaked out that I would just start hearing.
You would.
And I'd look over and he'd be out, and then it would just get louder. It's like not turning your alarm clock off. The fucking thing just gets louder and louder and louder until it starts like clipping, and then it's just like the electronic noise is all fucked up. Yeah, it's like Dad.
And I'm sure you've heard the stories about the drive-in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Plenty.
a time. I love that. Dad passed out in front of the car. People trying to listen to through their vehicle stereo systems or whatever, having to ask Mom to wake Dad up and tell him to stop snoring.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Such a great thing.
My dad was like that
Yeah.
when we would go to movie theaters.
Yeah.
Dude, he was out within like 5 minutes.
I don't know what, and I hope that doesn't turn into you and me. I hope that's not with an age thing, because
Oh, I hope so.
no, fuck you. I love movies too
I
much.
hope so.
But yeah, not a great movie.
No.
Had some redeeming qualities randomly. I don't think you told me people were raving about it for its would you
No, I
say
said
quote
people-
unquote conservative.
No, I don't know that people were raving about it. I know people were bitching up a storm about it because it was all white people, and it was a lot of like masculinity and
It's
shit
about
like
Vikings.
That's how people are nowadays. they
So they're mad that there weren't no brothers in the Vikings movie.
That's how people are nowadays.
Okay.
They're like,
All right.
we need more representation or whatever.
Anyway,
It's
the Vikings.
It's like it's the Vikings, dude.
Okay, but so
It's like, all right, well then
it had.
I want a movie about
say it.
MLK
Don't
with
say
Ryan
No.
Gosling.
it. Don't say it. Jesus Christ. There we are. We're fucking canceled at 15. 16? 15.
15.
I even wrote.
No,
I
I'm
wrote 16.
I'm
I wrote
confident
16
the whole
right
cancel
there, too.
culture thing's going away.
So, I don't know.
It was a joke.
Oh, yeah, joke about cancel culture. Maybe get canceled twice as hard. Worst fight scenes I think I've ever seen.
They
Oh,
were very
they
bad.
were-
Alexander
bad.
Skarsgård is one of my favorite. Like I love the Skarsgård family as actors, and he was cool in it, but I wouldn't call it like Oscar worthy or anything like that. But the grunting and the even the sex scene was awkward, and you were asleep for that, but
Which one? Was there only one?
the sex scene,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I seen that.
Oh, you did?
Because that's where he was holding the mushroom. Or one of them was holding the mushroom.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing to do.
I just
Knock
realized
boots and
what
hold mushrooms.
what I just said. The magic mushroom. Go back. Let's go back to the boners.
Let's
Wait,
not
what?
go back to
You
the
would go all the way
boners.
back to boners?
No,
Anyway,
so,
I wouldn't rate the movie very high.
It was bad.
It's very bad.
From what I saw when I got home.
I don't know how you bluff fight scenes like that. Like
it was really bad. Like
uncomfortably.
there were. Usually they're pretty good about like a swinging axe at somebody and the guy reacts just the timing's just right so it looks real.
And then
It
there's
was
other
so
times.
off. Like I saw the guy swing and you could see sky between the axe and the guy's head and the guy reacted and I was like that.
Not just that, there was when they would run up, and like the main character, you know, the person would swing at him, and then there was pause. Swing, he ducks it.
Well,
Pause,
they always do that.
pause,
They always
pause,
run up
and
like
then
they're
he
gonna
gets hit.
stab the protagonist, and they always stop and like stutter right before.
But this one was bad. You and I could have
300
walked in
was
between them.
notorious for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened a lot in there.
But that's I like 300.
300 is great.
I thought 300 had. They did that, but they played it off with camera angles and camera movements during that. This one was same camera angle, following him the whole time, and it was just like, I don't know, the people that played the people that he was killing. There was just like the pauses were just disgustingly bad. Like,
Yeah.
You said about the pauses.
like if you, I know, but
Let's move on. It was,
The pauses
it wasn't
were
that
bad.
good a movie.
yeah, I
We
don't.
should've
Yeah,
spent
it was
20
not a
minutes
good
talking about
movie.
it.
That's fair
But
enough.
the thing I wanted to bring up was, for a while there, I was drinking a lot of Bang Energy.
I
And I
can't
stopped
do
for a while.
Oh,
And then
dude.
last week I was back on it. I was, what did they say? Fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last week I was drinking a shitload of it. I've noticed consistently there's some weird side effects with it.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me. Start getting like the heart flutters.
Yeah.
And then
That's why I can't drink those.
apparently, according to a doctor, that happens all the time. It's not like severe enough that you feel it. Well, every time I drink these fucking things, I feel it. Gotta piss every 10 minutes. The morning after I drink one or two, whatever it is, every morning after, wake up rock hard.
Interesting.
Which brings me to another point. Everybody's seen a Viagra commercial or an ad in their day, right? And they always say, you got an erection that's more than 4 hours, or been on for more than 4 hours, seek medical attention immediately.
Yeah.
I never bothered to ask, what if you don't?
I had an
What
erection.
happens?
I had an erection for 13 years.
You
Eric.
can't
I
ask
never
me
told
this yet
anyone.
because I don't
This
know.
is a question I had for Rachel.
You can't,
Oh.
you can't ask me that yet because I don't know because we haven't learned about any of that yet.
You learned about
like-
erections.
No, like we'll have to learn about like the reproductive system and all that.
Craig, pull that up.
For what
I'm
up?
just kidding. Don't pull that up.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
putting
don't.
the images on. The reproductive system?
No.
I think you and I are familiar enough with that.
But the thing that went through my mind yesterday morning, I woke up and I was like, man, I just slept for like 8 hours. How long's this been going on for? And then I started thinking, I never bothered to ask the question, like, what if you don't seek
What if you
medical
didn't?
attention?
That's just like you
What-
forever.
What happens to you?
Your body would probably go into shock.
Why?
I actually know this answer.
What?
I know what happens if. Well,
Oh,
I don't
do
think I
you,
know the-
Dr. Harmon?
yeah. I don't know if it's not the answer that you're quite looking for, but I know what happens if you do have an erection that long, like how they relieve it, and it's not what you think.
But no, he just wants to know like what happens if he doesn't.
That's what I mean.
seek
It
medical
Squeeze
stays
your-
like that,
Do they
and then
just squeeze your balls?
no, they literally drain the blood from your penis until you're
Wow.
flaccid again. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but what happens if you let it go?
That's what I mean. Eventually, then you're just
I think it would eventually go down, but
to be after a very long.
Yeah.
I want to know what are the physiological effects of
Should I
just
look it
not
up?
getting rid
do you
of
want me
the
to
boner.
look it up?
Yeah, sure.
Let me look it up.
Go ahead, look it up.
Of like not. I mean, I would feel like.
Rachel's a better fact checker than you are.
I feel like you would. I'm not fact checking shit. I feel like you would have like long term nerve damage to some parts. I don't think penis is meant to be erect for that long. But so nerve damage. I think you would have a hell of a time
Blood clots, maybe?
relieving yourself of like waste. So urinating
That's-
would be hard.
That's...
None of your
I didn't
pants are
think
gonna
of
fit. I'm just spitballing like.
Well,
what
I
would
mean,
think
it's
would
going to be
happen.
awkward conversations from here on out, but...
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to sleep on your
So, yeah.
stomach. I can tell you that.
Moral of the story, I'm not drinking that Bang shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
fucking
last
weird.
time that I had a bang, I literally thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Like my heart was racing so fast. It was the weirdest feeling I've ever felt in my entire life.
Yeah, I liked it because it made me like, it didn't make me like hyper and jittery like other drinks. Well, it did, but I could tell it like had like an effect on my mind. I felt like I was thinking clearer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to process, my thought process was just much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
while I was on it. I never had that with other drinks. Other drinks was just like physical energy. I was still kind of dead upstairs, whatever.
I don't know. I don't really mess around with energy drinks anymore because
you're fat.
If you give me Monster, I can drink that.
No, because the oil filled. It was like nicotine and energy drinks is how you got through a itch.
Mm.
So I kind of made it a point to not slowly kill myself.
Yeah.
Faster than I already am.
It can lead, if it's left untreated, erectile dysfunction can lead to psychological trauma, frustration, and lower self-esteem.
Psychological trauma?
It's associated with major comorbidities such as cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and diabetes.
Wow.
Diabetes?
Mm-hmm.
How?
You get a boner so long, you end up with diabetes? Are you on Wikipedia, woman?
No.
I don't think that's true.
It was on Mayo Clinic. That's like
what
legit.
the fuck do they know?
It's a reputable source.
So was the CDC a few years ago.
I don't know why, but I thought like mayonnaise when she said that. I'm on Hellman's website talking about boners.
The Mayo Clinic.
But it does say that
It
does say that your erectile problems need to occur for at least 6 months for it to count as erectile dysfunction.
I was joking about the erection for 13 years, but can you imagine having a boner for 6 months?
Yeah, just like smacking it on door jams and shit. Like
it can last a few months to years. Depending on underlying cause, you may have ED for the rest of your life.
Oh my god.
Not even once.
A rudder-dudder for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Someone literally asked on Google what foods help you get hard.
Of course they did.
Wagyu beef.
God. Watermelon. Spinach and other leafy greens. Coffee. Dark chocolate. Salmon. Pistachios. Almonds, walnuts, and other nuts. Oranges
Sushi.
and blueberries.
It has something to do with iron.
Yeah.
High iron in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, hard as iron.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Interesting. Well.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, we're moving on to something else.
Just going to use our rudder to steer over to the next topic.
It's a nice sundial.
Yeah, there's all those boner jokes coming out now.
None from here.
What else?
About boners?
No.
Can we just not talk about boners?
No. I think we had a bunch of shit to talk about.
3 consensual adults talking about boners.
Workplace conundrums.
Workplace.
Still,
violence.
again, we're back on this. What?
Workplace violence.
We
You want to talk about workplace violence?
No, I'm
We're in a
kidding.
fucking hospital.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens there.
Well,
Yeah.
the gunshots don't happen at the hospital, Craig. Is it really considered violence?
I wasn't even saying gunshots.
Anything,
Now you
but-
made me think about a hospital getting shot up when my wife works at a hospital. That's not great. Thanks, Eric. Workplace violence.
No.
I was kidding.
We were talking earlier. We touched on before we started recording about how fucking aggravating it is when your boss or somebody at work describes the team as we're a family,
Oh my god.
or the company says we're a family.
We're a family.
Do you agree with that statement, Craig?
No.
Do you think there's ever a point where you would
I fucking
consider
hate
your
it.
coworkers family?
Fucking hate it. I'm not saying that I wouldn't consider coworkers family. I'm saying what kind of
We used to
family
work together.
steps over, your sister for a fucking promotion. Like, it's a sham. It's 100% a cop out. And I use another analogy.
I think you can be friends with your coworkers.
100%. I'm still friends with people I work with.
Family means something else, and you will.
I
don't think you'll ever. I don't think you'll ever justify that statement in a workplace.
I have
it doesn't
friends-
fucking matter where it is.
I have friends that I consider family that I used to work with. Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, I do agree, but I don't think
As a whole unit.
you're talking about who's saying it is management or people in charge. A person that's the same level as you isn't going to be like, we're a family.
I'm talking about the perception of it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So
I'm saying
as
management
as a
uses
whole.
that.
So you're saying it's kind of like a case by case thing. you're working with good friends that you consider family.
Yeah.
Family friends.
No, I'm. Sorry, go ahead.
No, because I think that way. Like, we're a tight-knit group where we're at, but, like, I would consider some of them, like, family.
Yeah, I'm saying the phrase you're bringing up is used by management, and I think it's horseshit.
You're right.
I'm saying people that I've worked with that I consider like close friends or family, that's because of a relationship or a bond we built during that job and after. It had really, other than meeting them, it had nothing to do with that job. You know what I mean? If I have a coworker, if I have a manager, supervisor, somebody above me, and that's the first thing they say to me, they describe, oh, this department, you know, we're not just a workplace, we're a family, I'm immediately turned off. I immediately know who you are and how you are as a manager or supervisor. Yeah. And that to me is not good, because I feel like that's such a big fucking cliche. And this, again, I'm a little jaded because I've worked with some of the most dirtbaggiest dirtbags and shittiest shitbags there's ever been in some of the hellish, burn them to the ground companies I've worked for. So, I'm not holding a grudge either, if it sounds
like it.
But I think, like, if you say that, you have nothing to say. You just say, hey, you know, we're close here. We have each other's back. There's 100 different things you can say better than we're a family. Okay? If you're telling me that means that you don't even view your own fucking family as family. All right? Your relationship's fucked there, because I'm not going to be close with you.
Now, I think there's, my opinion's always been, like, there's a certain element of keeping people at arm's length, for one. For two, family's reserved for something else. And three, don't take your fucking work home.
Yeah.
Don't take your work home. I'm not going to say who, but I know of somebody who thinks it's cool to fucking start calling people at 8, 9 o'clock and want to carry on conversations about projects and shit.
No.
And I'm waiting for the day I get that phone call. But that right there is a prime example of, like, no, dude, you're invading my personal life. Don't fucking call me again outside hours.
And I feel like that's the connotation that comes along with people that say that. Oh, we're a family. I'm not taking this job home. All right? I'm not calling you on a fucking Saturday night to see how your weekend's going.
Coincidentally, those are also the same people that they'll fucking bend you over the table.
Oh, 100%.
They'll fucking ream your ass out for they'll never put themselves in your shoes. They'll never be amicable about things. But the moment you fucking snap in their direction, you're fucking gone.
Yeah. Or they want to reprimand you, or they don't like your attitude or some shit like that. Like, bro, we're a family, okay? We're a family.
Well, the other thing is,
you take my fucking attitude.
People that are always like, we're a family, are the ones who they're very highly irrational, and they I know it's important to take care of your customers. It is. But I think there are some times where you're well within the right to tell a customer to go fuck themselves. I think that. Very rare case. Very rare. But it happens. Those are the types of assholes that will throw you under the bus when you're just being indignified by a customer. And I don't agree with that.
So, my take on that is nowadays, companies are so focused on customers. Taking care. I'm not saying that customers aren't important, okay? But they get so blinded by taking care of customers that they basically fuck their employees. And they forget about their employees. But
when it lowers
the thing is, if you're a company that's providing something that's a need, you're always going to have customers. It doesn't matter if you have repeat customers or something. People are always going to need your product. You're not, but you need.
It's not just that.
Those employees.
It's when customers lower the bar to the level of indignation, and then I've seen some scenarios where that's played out. I'm not saying at my current job, but I've seen some scenarios where that's played out, and it's like really there's a point where like somebody needs to step in and handle the customer and be like, we're not going to do business with you if you keep acting like just a complete piece of shit. I think that.
How about you? Now, your customers where you work are a little bit different than what we're used to, obviously. You work in a place where I would assume they try and take care of employees as best as possible. I'm not
So
asking
we're talking
you to
about
blatantly like put
I
something
know.
out
we're
there.
talking about two different realms here, though.
Yeah.
'Cause, like customers,
That's what I said.
customers I deal with are average Joes. Customers Rachel deals with are gunshot victims. People who are bleeding out, fucked up, dying,
Dying Joes.
just dying horribly.
Average Joes, dying Joes.
There's a lot more
There's
leeway
a lot
when
more
somebody's
leeway because
fucking
we
dying.
do have to act like we literally have
Like
to
her
work
customers
together.
come
I wouldn't even
first.
call them
Like
customers.
literally,
man. It's-
like.
Oh, they're 100% customers.
They're
Are you
patient-
kidding me?
they're
Do you
patients.
know that nursing is the most trusted profession? Yes.
No, I'm not.
It-
I don't know what that
because we are-
means. What are the parameters?
Because we are there to help them get better. And they have to trust that we are going to be those people to help them get better. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I don't. I agree with you, and I think that most nurses want to do right and do good, but I think that hospitals are the biggest fucking sham out there. I think they are 100% a
That's the
money
medical field though
factory.
for you.
Okay, and that's
But you
fair.
also have to understand that yes, we might be the most trusted profession, but we also have to do what the doctors tell us to do.
Oh yeah,
Like we can explain
guys
all
are-
day long that this is not how that they normally are, and they have to go by what we're saying, but that doesn't mean they're always going to listen to what we're saying.
and I will say, of all the hospital stays and stuff we've had to deal with, it wasn't necessarily the doctors. I've had good doctors. I've had shitty doctors. I've seen good doctors. I've seen shitty doctors. But the one thing that's constant is the good nurses. And the nurses make, and we'll use the example with Charlie. We were new, fresh, with a freshie, and he's in a NICU for an extended stay,
3
and
weeks.
I mean, that was like
The longest
a lifetime.
3 weeks
Yeah.
of my life.
And it wasn't the doctors that were checking on us and making sure we were okay. It was the nurses, and the nurses were top fucking tier. I mean, I kept joking. We were broke, but I would have fucking tipped them if I had to, if I was able to. They were great, absolutely. And actually, at both places we were at, both hospitals, but they were what made it. So that, I mean, nurses are always going to be cool in my book.
Well, when I had mono, when I was stuck in Florida,
Yeah. Kissing people there.
went to the hospital to get checked out because I was like, this is the sickest I've ever been. I don't know what the hell's going on with me. And the doctor took one look down my throat. He's like, oh, you got strep. I was like, this isn't strep.
Mm-hmm.
So he prescribed me some antibiotic or something like that. Started taking it. Wasn't
Didn't
getting
work.
any better. About a week later,
Because it's a Bible.
I'm like getting scared at this point. I'm not sleeping because I'm up all night, like sweating and
Deathly
shivering,
ill.
and
Yeah.
throat started to close up. Couldn't swallow. So finally, I went back, and on the sign-in form, I just remember like just writing like "help me" or something, and like threw it across the table. Well, they took me in. The guy who took my blood, the guy who did everything was the nurse.
Yeah.
It was the nurse.
Yeah.
And he took my blood, got it to the lab. As soon as it came back or whatever, mono. He gave me administered the steroids, administered the there's something else they gave me, I can't remember what it was. Administered all that. Shit, dude, I sat on that gurney for maybe like 2 more hours and just slowly got better.
Yeah.
And then can't remember if they prescribed me something else after that, but then there was like a
Probably an oral steroid. Yeah.
there was like a care center on campus, and I was so fucked up at the time, I didn't think they could do anything to help me. I just went, go to hospital, go to the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
Because I was like, both times
They
I was
probably would
like,
have sent you there anyway.
both times I was just horribly fucked up. And so I started feeling better and whatnot, and it was like the next week I followed up with them, went and talked to them, and the lady at the care center told me that what the what the doctor prescribed, it was amoxicillin. Apparently, that's the one thing you're not supposed to take for mono.
Jesus Christ. So
And she said my throat was the worst case she had ever seen. Because I guess when you get mono, your throat like starts to close up. Dude, it turned green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my friend had told me at the time it smelled like rotting flesh.
Yeah, that's.
She said she could smell it across the dorm room. I was like, so that fucking bastard who didn't care to even give me the time of day, you know. Oh, you got strep. Yeah, that guy. Fuck him. It was the nurse who fixed me.
Yeah. That's what. Did you even see a doctor the second time or not?
Nope.
Yeah, that's
it was
awesome.
the nurse.
That's because the nurse is the one who advocates the most for the patient.
And I feel that's cool.
Well, I mean,
like if if their voice isn't being heard, they talk like literally. They're the ones that advocate for them.
I look at doctors like cops. I don't think they're all bad.
There's good ones.
I know for a fact there's some really good ones out there.
There's some excellent ones that we have, and then there's some that just.
There's some that did it because they did it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
That's what it is.
That's how. Look, it's like that for nurses too. You have some really great ones, and then there's some that you know are there just to collect that paycheck.
Yeah. I feel bad hearing that story because I remember like I walked in Mom and Dad's, and Mom was like, "Hey, Eric has mono," and I literally walked down the hallway and I went, "Haha, that sucks," and that was my day. So I'm sorry.
It got fucked up there for a while. Cause I was alone and I'm taking this medicine that I'm not supposed to be taking. And it's like a week later, I was in a fuck ton of pain, too. And,
when you went the first time, did they even test you for strep throat?
No. The only thing that fucker did was shine a light down my throat. He
didn't do the swab?
No.
See,
shoved a light down my throat, so now you got strep. That's what he did.
The reason they took my tonsils...
Think about how much that motherfucker gets paid a year. Think about how much that guy gets paid to be a doctor in Florida. And that's all he did.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's surprising because the reason they took my tonsils and adenoids was because I had strep so many times when I was little. So I had strep like 6-7 times in 1 year. And each time was the swab. Each time I fucking knew what was happening. I knew it was coming. Every time my mom would bring me there, I'd be like, oh, I was like, let's just get it over with. And it was the swab. And it's still to this day I can feel.
Yeah. Me too. I always hated it.
And then they took my tonsils and I didn't have a sore throat for like 9 years. It's really fucking dope. Yeah. I've never had strep. I had strep so many times when I was younger, and I think they took my tonsils when I was 13 or 14, and I've literally never had strep since.
You better knock on some
I used to get it all the time.
I just turned 33 yesterday, and I've never had strep since.
Yeah, it's kind of like a perfect metaphor for the corporate world. The people at the bottom know what they're doing, and the ones that make shit happen, they get paid dick. And then you got people on top that are just fucking incompetent as shit. They don't care.
Yeah, see, I don't...
While they're sitting in Cancun on their laptop.
I don't want to get back
waiting for their yacht to get finished.
That shit. But I don't understand how incompetent people constantly get...
Praised.
Promoted. No. Promoted. Like...
It's still the same thing.
Yeah, but it's like praise with money. I don't fucking get it.
It's still praise.
Like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get into it. What's next? What do you got?
Next topic.
I don't know. What do you got? I feel like I'm the one slinging all the topics.
Weren't there... What ones did you say earlier? Oh, making friends as an adult?
Yeah, so...
this is one you've wanted to talk about for a while.
Well, this is a funny... It's funny because...
Because I'm here?
Yeah, I want to talk to him. But Eric and I, we still haven't done our episode on shrinking circles. I still see it on my notes. But obviously, we don't have like the friends that we used to. We still have a select few friends and family that we hang out with on a regular basis. But we recently had some people reach out to us that are kids in the same class as them. You know, because we figured Charlie's gonna make friends. You know, he's just one of those kids. as we think. And I wanted to ask you, like, being, because you're knocking on 30's door. I'm 33.
Knocking on 30.
She's 32,
It's
about to be
knocking back.
33. Is it so? I feel like it's safe to call us adults now. Is it different making friends as an adult than it is early 20s, late teens? Is it different? Is it harder? Is it easier? What's changed other than age?
I think it's different. I think it's easier. I think when you're a kid, you don't really know what you value. So it's easy to make a lot of friends in a short period of time. And you're kind of like more of an open book. I feel like my filter is a lot more apt now that I'm older.
You think you have more of a filter now?
Yeah. I mean, if I, like, when I how do I want to put this? I was going to try to put it nicely, but I'm not going to put it nicely.
Because there goes that filter.
Yeah.
That's not the filter I'm talking about.
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm saying, like,
This isn't the
you meet,
Spanish.
you
So,
meet,
like, are you
you
put,
meet
like-
somebody when you're younger, and you're more likely to just, they're a friend of mine or whatever. You might hang out with them or whatnot. I feel like now that I'm older, I've just kind of put my foot down, and it's like, if you're a shitbag, or you're just a toxic person or whatnot, I don't want to be around you. I know people that just kind of put up with it, and I don't put up with it anymore. So, like, there's a filter. So, you seem like a great guy. We can be friends. Or, you know, yeah, I'll call you sometime. Fuck that guy.
Well, that's what I mean. Is it
You know,
you're a great guy, I want to be friends with you, or is it you're a great guy, I'm going to keep you at arm's length until I know more about you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, it's like any getting to know anybody, really.
That's what I mean. As an adult, yeah.
You keep, you know.
What about you?
No, I agree, but I'm also very observant as I've aged. Like, I can kind of see through people. Like, I can tell when they're putting on a front. I can tell.
Your judge
tell
of
when-
character's really high.
Yes.
No.
Like, I can tell
See,
when they're a genuine person.
Yeah.
Like, when I started school, the friends that I've made are some of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life. So far, that would literally do anything for me, for anybody else in our group. Some of the other people, I wouldn't say that about. Because there's so many people, I don't know if it was the way that they were raised or just things that they've been through, but they can be some of the shittiest people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when you're younger, or at least for me, it was, I don't really care if you're a shitbag. He's just fun and cool to be around.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Now that
I
you're
can
an
see
adult,
that.
it's like, we can't go around knocking over 7-Elevens anymore, you know?
Thinking about your friends list, I can really see.
Yeah, so I got to the point where I was just like,
You're more.
I'd rather
about
go
depth.
I'd rather go my own way than just deal with toxic, shitty people anymore.
And I think that's the key. I think both of you said that. The toxic people, toxic traits, toxic people. It's
It
another
doesn't-
topic I
It
wanted
doesn't
to talk
affect
about.
you when you're a kid,
No, it doesn't.
you don't
like it
know.
does when you're an
right,
adult.
because
You
you
can't
don't
define toxic.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You
but
don't know.
notice it.
as you age and like are going through each stage of life,
Yeah.
you can honestly tell how a person is based off their personality.
Yeah.
You
and
can tell if they're a good person or if they are.
That's why I
literally-
said when you're a kid, you don't really know what you
Right.
value.
Yeah.
Now I'm an adult. It's kind of laid out what I value,
Right.
and you see how that stacks up against what other people value,
Mhm.
whether they know it or not. You see how that stacks up, and it kind of comes down to, I don't want this person being a member of my community.
Exactly.
To build off of
You think
what
about it in
Wilson-
terms of community when you're older.
Right.
to build off of what both of you said, I think the most important quality as a growing human being, growing into adult, is get your own definitions of topic. Get
Toxic.
toxic. You have to, your shit that you go through in each stage, each milestone, each positive and negative relationship that you've had is going to build your own definition of toxic. The way you look at toxic people now might not necessarily be the way we look at toxic people and like you and everyone else. So, and it's funny to see. It's funny to learn that. So what is your definition of toxic and what is your definition?
First thing I want to say is it's not just, I mean, you can define a lot of things as toxic behavior and whatnot. There's also an element of how much are you willing to put up with.
Exactly.
Because, like,
That's fair.
Relationships are the same way.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into relationships.
Yeah, not romantic stuff. We're sticking
we can,
strictly to friends.
We can table that shit for later. What were you going to say, Rach?
I was letting you finish. Go ahead.
I lost it.
Toxic.
I was just saying there's a level of
what you can put up with.
There's a level of what you can put up with. That was
and
I just
agree
wanted to say that before.
No, I agree, but you also like I have lost friends that I thought would be the ones that would be there for me no matter what, and then that takes a toll on you because they're the people that, I mean, we were friends with all of them.
I know more than anybody, yes.
But it's things like that you kind of have to like take a step back and realize, were they ever really my friends? If I needed them, would they drop what they were doing to come help me with what I needed?
That's the biggest thing. That's a great point. That's my biggest toxic.
Right.
That's what I think when you're at a point when they're using you.
Yes.
When you're getting used
and
you're not getting anything in return. It is, not to bring up romantic relationships, but it's a lot like being in a romantic relationship where it's one-sided. That to me is the most toxic is somebody who you're going to invest time, effort, and be there for. And the second you're in some deep shit, the second you need somebody to come help pick you up, or you're at rock bottom, somebody to help you tie your shoes or pick you up from rehab or take you to the hospital, and they're not fucking there, it's toxic. And I don't mean like just one time. Like, I get it, things happen, but I'm talking repeated times. Like, you've had enough repeated rock bottoms in your life that same fucking person isn't there to help you and pick you up. Bro, what you're gonna put up with, you should realize. That's the biggest thing. If I could build a time machine and go back, I would grab myself and shake myself, punch myself in the nose and be like, look, define these people. Define these people right fucking now, because you've wasted so much of your time, your effort, everything that you had good. I could have been better friends to all these other people that are still my friends now.
Right.
I could have met them and spent time with them and helped them become better like they helped me become better now. But I didn't. I fucking wasted time with some wrong fucking people, and it really pisses me off.
What was your question?
How do you define toxic? Like, what's your biggest toxic trait? Almost?
Biggest toxic trait, especially amongst young men, is like the ride or die mentality.
Elaborate a little bit.
Like, people that think you have to do this with me, or you're not my friend, or
it's
some
like
shit.
An ultimatum kind of thing.
Yeah, like engaging in bad behavior and stuff like that. And when you're a kid, you tend to be, most kids are followers.
Everything's cool.
I was kind of a follower because I kind of felt like isolated, outcast, maybe a little bit. So I hung around with a lot of scabs, but like that, you got one person says, I got a really bad idea, and now everybody's got to take part in it. No matter
Son
what.
of a bitch, I'm in. Yeah. That kind of shit.
I'm talking about shit that, like, will get you arrested. Will ruin your fucking life. Shit like that.
Your brother knows about that. It's fine.
So, like, that ride or die mentality, it's like, we're not a gang, asshole.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you don't know. I've said it before, just for stupid little shit. I'll say it at work, too. I'm an adult. I don't have to put up with this fucking shit anymore. That's kind of the mentality, like, I wish I had that when I was a teenager. Of, like, nope. No, I'm out.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That's what the beauty of it.
Not be afraid of like the consequences and repercussions that come from that, which there could be many.
I mean, you could write a book on the shit that we would go back and change and tell ourselves.
Yeah.
And
it's like don't be a follower, and
stick up for yourself.
That ride or die gang shit is just fucking retarded.
Yeah. Well, it's the treating people thing, like that's how I look at a friend. Is if I meet somebody, I'm getting to know them. My first thing I want to know how they treat people, and I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm motherfucking Teresa or anything like that, but I just realized I did that. I'm very sorry. That was poor taste. I didn't realize I'm not Mother Teresa. But I try and treat people with the fuck off, Eric. I try and treat people with the respect
that you would want to get.
Yes. And the second I don't get that back, that's, you made my list. You're fucking done.
Yeah.
I'll be rude as fuck to you. I don't give a shit.
I believe it. Because I'm the same way.
Or I just leave you alone. That's even worse to me because I'm just, you're done. You're dead in my book. I don't want anything to do with you. But I try not to jump to that conclusion because that's my wall that I've built from all that shit because I didn't have that when I was younger. I was the one that was like, oh, you want to be my friend? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll hold the bloody bag, and I didn't know that stuff because I was so stupid.
Right. Well, and I think also, like, sometimes I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'll hear something bad, but I'm like, I've never, like, seen them do something like that. And then I kind of, like, take a step back, and then I witness it happening. And then I'm like, oh, everybody was right. So, but I don't know. That's
but at least you notice.
Yeah.
Some people don't notice.
There's a level of deniability there.
Right. Like, I always do.
That.
That's what I do. I literally give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and then I actually see it happen, and then I take that step back, and I'm like, okay, you were right about this person. They're probably not good for me, so I'm gonna back off.
And we've done that for each other.
That exact thing happened to me.
I
giving
can't.
people too many chances.
Yeah.
Ignoring red flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
not putting yourself.
Right, and I think the older you get, the more you recognize things like that.
Yeah.
Because you've been through some.
That's
of
the
that
beauty
stuff.
of it. That's what I mean. You build your definitions of toxic through all the shitty stuff that's happened.
See, here's the thing. I feel every adult at some point or another thinks back, oh yeah, I really wish I didn't do, or I really wish I knew that and whatnot. The thing that scares me about having kids is how to get through to them to be able to get them to see through your eyes.
You can't. You have to
let
them fuck up.
I literally was about to just bring
hard.
this up.
That's the answer.
That's
I'm
super
scared to death that no matter what I do, they will still, they just won't know, and they'll repeat my mistakes.
Because you don't know if they're going to fuck up harder than you and ruin themselves.
There's some things.
I also think that being a parent is what kind of opened my eyes also, because I don't want to surround myself with somebody like that and that same person being around him. Does that make sense?
That's what I was telling you about.
Yes.
Your duty as a parent is know who your kids' friends are.
Yes.
So, like,
you think back to mom and dad, right?
God damn it! Yeah.
That's what I was gonna bring up next. Is
because there's things I was gonna say. There's some things, some little things that they instilled in us that fucking stuck right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't play in the front yard with the airsoft guns that look like they're real. Why?
Well, granted, we did
Why,
paint
Mom?
the tips to make them look like real guns, but yeah, we were shitty kids.
You had that clear plastic one you spray painted black. But, like, I remember Mom screaming at us about doing that.
And now you know why.
And we never did.
But
It's
now
stuck.
you do.
Well, yeah.
Now it's worse.
Think ahead. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. The neighbors see you with it. They're going to call the cops.
Right.
Cops see you with it. They're going to fucking shoot you.
Like, you don't
So
understand
that was
when-
Mom being on, like, the...
Yeah.
You know...
We thought it was overbearing.
She's just trying to set you up for some success.
Mom was living in 2020.
Right. While
when
your
we
dad...
were...
Yes.
Dad was in 1983.
Right.
Mom was in 2020, and we were in...
It wasn't just, like, rampant
2004.
fear. It was also, she thought 3 steps ahead.
Right.
She did.
Because she's
What's
Mom.
going to happen next? What's going to happen? No, but
That's her superpower.
One of the things you
What do you think my
as...
superpower is? I do that for him, too.
I know, but you also tell me that I'm worrying too much when I'm thinking, like, all right, a car's going to come over the bridge and run us all over. You're like, you fucking stupid.
But what if
No,
I
I've
think-
never got you stupid.
But it seems like, you know, kids, they're young, life experience is not very high. One of the hardest things is to get them to think ahead. And you tell them, don't put yourself in bad situations. Well, they don't fucking know what bad situations are.
I know, because they don't have to define them.
They don't know how it evolves into a bad situation.
You got to get your kid to think, but here in front of you is this person, this little person. It's a little version of you and a little version of you, and you're telling them, you're like, just think about what you're doing. think, and then you're realizing they can't think.
Right, they can't
They don't know how.
comprehend what that is even supposed to mean.
They won't be able to think
Because he
until
literally looks
25.
at you and he's like, huh?
Yeah, because he thinks jumping off that is a good idea.
I'm talking about like telling like a 10-year-old or 12-year-old.
Well, even then,
You know,
It's hard.
don't fucking play with the airsoft guns in the front yard.
It's hard to tell somebody who's all
Are
about
they going to be
now.
able to
Everything they're thinking
understand
about.
what's going to happen next and what's going to happen next?
well,
and
no,
what's gonna happen
because
next?
this is the reason why that they still can't comprehend it. Social media. Stuff
That's a
like-
whole nother animal. Yeah, but yeah.
But like that plays a part into it also.
I think social media's turned everybody into a fucking narcissist. Stone cold narcissist.
As we're
Don't
sitting
disagree.
here on a podcast that we're releasing on social media.
But no, what I'm saying is, they see those video games, they see the stuff that they see on social media, and they're gonna think that it's okay.
Yeah, they become kind of desensitized to
Yes.
Everybody
what's right
wants
and
to be
wrong.
the
Right,
Logan Pauls.
and they're not
Yeah.
gonna listen to what mom or dad say.
Or the Pootie Poos, Pootie Peas, whatever you
Because
fucking
in their
It's not
minds,
PewDiePie all the
they
time.
think,
I don't
oh,
know what
I saw this on a video game, it's okay.
the Vice City. Do you remember? Mom
I played
didn't.
that game when I was way too young.
Mom didn't want us. Well,
A lot
granted,
of
we were
kids
young.
did.
Mom didn't want us playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. She thought it was the devil, and
Is it because the strippers?
hookers,
We had what looked
Yeah.
like a hooker on the front cover.
and you drive them behind a building,
Yeah,
and
no,
the
I
car
know.
starts rocking.
It did.
And I showed Mom, and Mom didn't get it at first. Then Mom got it,
Oh my god, man.
and she was like, "Don't show your brother that." And I was like, "I won't." Hey, Eric, come here. And yeah, she hated this game because
I believe it.
yeah, you
It's
bang the
also your
hooker,
mom.
and then you run them over, and you get your money back.
You did.
It's like fucking like, I don't know if that's real life, but everybody wants to blame video games and stuff for all this natural shit. And personally, I don't think anybody wants to take ownership of shitty parenting and all that
Well,
stuff.
no.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit that they're
Again, a
shitty.
whole nother episode.
How many people out there like, I want this video game? Dad's like,
Okay.
all right, whatever, buys it anyway.
Right.
You know, Dad, I need you to buy this video game, and then they do it anyway. It happened with us too.
Dad, can I have a snow cone?
I'm not,
Hell no!
I'm not saying it's Dad's fault or anything.
It's the
but
greatest exchange I've ever heard from a father and a son.
you need to be a little more aware.
That's
You
What's
wouldn't buy him
going
a
on?
fucking
That's because-
snow cone.
typically, it's usually the mother who is.
Bro, you gonna suck your own dick? What are you doing, girl?
No, I'm just saying.
What?
That's the one who literally is the one who takes care of everything.
The
They're the
real
ones
parent.
who literally make the
The
decisions.
real parent.
No, that's not what I'm saying
That's
at
what
all.
she said.
Get out.
That is not what I'm saying at all.
Eric,
If
Well,
you
this will be the
think
last
about
time
it,
Rachel joins us as our
Shut
guest.
up.
as a wrap up, no, just
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Because you are great. You make decisions also. But some families, it's the mother who makes all the decisions.
And that's bullshit.
Agreed.
Okay,
I agree. It should be 50-50.
it's teamwork.
But you have those parents who the dad just doesn't care because the mom is just so used to doing everything.
that's the
Well, it's
okay.
like, hold on, hang on. The age-old saying of happy wife, happy life.
Right.
Horseshit.
I agree.
Horseshit.
Because women are never happy.
Correct.
Whoa,
But I'm happy.
bro.
I'm just
But I'm happy.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
Go ahead, because
No,
I
but
don't want
like-
to lose track of what I'm thinking.
No, I just remember, I can't remember, I seen a video one time, there was a woman talking about that, and she said, that old saying needs to go away.
It
It's
does.
bullshit. She said, what about the fucking husband?
Mhm.
Like, a marriage is two people.
Right.
It's two fucking people.
It is.
It's not, and
So is
as we
parenthood,
talked about,
unless obviously.
not even talking about marriage, just relationships in general, whether it's friends or whatever you can define as a different kind of relationship. It's one-sided. It's parasitic.
Mhm.
That's what happens in nature. A one-sided relationship is parasitic.
Yeah,
I agree.
So yeah,
So-
that's
symbiosis.
That's-
That's two. You go ahead.
that's why I'm a hard ass about some things.
So mine is to build off of yours.
Mine.
Yeah. How you were saying, the mom does everything, dad does nothing.
I did not say dad does nothing.
No. I'm not talking about me. Obviously, I don't do nothing. I don't do. I wanted to.
Rachel was saying men tend to get conditioned.
Yes.
Yes, and that's
Yes.
what that's the historical patriarch cliche, is what I wanted to bring up. That off of that, meaning, and you and I sadly saw this. Dad was the provider. Dad went to work. Dad came home. Everyone else fucked off and left Dad alone.
That's how it was for me too. My dad was the one who worked.
Yeah.
Brought home the income.
And that conditions younger generations, like millennials, or us, or whatever, to thinking that's how it should go. And I think that contributes. That's a very good point you both brought up, because I think I forgot what I was going with this. The historical.
What Craig is trying to say is let's look back through the generations. How was it before? Dad worked, mom stayed home.
Yes,
right.
That's what I was trying to say.
Who interfaced with the kids more often?
Mom.
The mom. So that's...
Fast forward our generation.
Right.
What's happening now? I think the
Kids
same.
don't know
I think
that.
the same expectations might still be there.
Yeah.
But now you got both spouses working.
Right.
Or you have single parents.
Or
split
single
households.
parents.
Single parents.
Right.
Single parents dating.
And I think the people that try to get by with dad still working, mom staying home with the kids, there's a lot more pressure nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Times are not good. So it's
also very toxic nowadays because... Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
I lost it.
I'm sorry.
I was stuttering to try to buy time.
It's very toxic nowadays, too, because it's so easy for dads to get shut the fuck out of the picture, too. It's so easy for moms to take kids away from their dad to punish, and then the courts are 99% of the time aligning with the mother and giving sole custody or 51% custody, whatever, to the mother, and then the mom wants money. You know, she gets child support, she gets spousal support, or whatever the fuck it's called. Alimony.
Yeah.
But child support especially is it's sad how a lot of that shit turns out, because the mom gets a lot of money, an exorbitant amount of money from a single working father, because the courts say so. And then the courts also say that the mom is allowed to tell the dad when he's allowed to see the kid.
Yeah, divorce court's a cartel.
You're fucked until the kid's 18, all right? And this kid is getting shut away from his dad. He's getting a one picture. He's sensitized and fucking. I don't know. I lost it too. He's getting a picture painted of his father that his mother's telling him, because he's spending more time. He or she is spending more time with the mother. Therefore, they're going to grow up hating their dad, thinking that the reason that their family fell apart was the dad. When in all actuality, it wasn't.
It was the mom, because she's the one making decisions.
But the mom drives a Range Rover and gets to go out, every night off of dad's dime, because he's paying a crazy amount in child support, and it's just a fucked, rigged system. And I'm not saying that every dad is worth it and every dad wants to see their kid, but the ones that do and want to be in their kids' lives should be. And I feel like a system should be built to help both parents, not just one.
Agreed.
But also, shitty fathers need to fuck off and die. That's where I'm at with that. There's a lot of up and down there. I'm sorry.
because I agree with that. Because, I mean...
If you're a shitty dad... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I agree with that, because it bothers me when people have shitty dads, because I don't have mine anymore. Like, I would live for a relationship with my dad.
Yes.
Right now. With everything that I've gone through.
Yes. So that hits deeper with you.
Yeah.
Because you
especially you have that mom who, takes the kid away from the dad who, adores this kid, would do anything for this kid, and then to have them ripped away from that and not have that relationship with their dad, because I was super close with my dad. Literally did everything with him. And then to have that ripped away from me because he passed away, that hurts.
It's not fair.
No, it's not.
It's bullshit. You see people squandering that opportunity every day.
Yeah, or like when people talk shit about their dad, and I'm just like, be glad you still have your dad. Like...
Well, on the same point of that, I do think there's shitty dads out there, shitty moms out there that shouldn't You good? You're just getting into it.
No, I was thinking we talked a little shit about Dad.
But
Eric, we are fortunate to have both of our
Right.
parents.
and
Dad was
your
a good dad.
listen,
They're
and
both
your dad,
physically here, not mentally,
right.
but they're both
That's true.
physically
Your dad
here.
has been a fantastic dad to me. Like I literally would be lost without that man.
Dad loves her more than he loves us.
That's true.
That is fucking true.
Mom
So
really
sorry.
loves Rachel.
Dad was
I am
not a
very
shitty
sorry.
dad. He was not
No.
a dirtbag or anything like that.
He's great. He's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love
What
him.
were you gonna say? He
Nothing.
could have fucking hugged us more. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey,
Just
I'm
like-
pretty sure.
he
I'm
could've
pretty
fucking
sure
hugged
he's
us
hugged me
Rachel
more than he's
said
hugged
that.
you
I just
guys.
thought,
I'm just saying,
probably
Dad,
should've
if you're
talked so much
listening,
shit about Dad.
But no,
Dad, I love
but
you, but you could
you
have
guys
fucking
do
hugged us
it.
more.
You guys do it like all in fun. Some people literally hate their dads
Yeah, I get that.
and
I
try
will,
not to have a relationship.
I
with
try
them.
not to think about that day when those fuckers kick the bucket because I don't know how I'm going to function.
I can
Okay.
just tell you,
We're not gonna go down that road.
it is not fun.
No, I know.
I was 18 years old.
And I really hope you love me enough to like bring me back from the darkness that's going to bring. So just be aware. It's not going to be easy.
No.
It's not going to be fun. Please don't leave me. But it's
I'm
not.
not going to leave you.
it's not gonna
I'm
be
just
fun.
saying, like,
It's going to take her punching me in the face. I
No.
know it right now.
like losing your
Now I'm
dad at
impressed.
18 is completely different than losing your dad when you're older because they miss out on so much.
I know. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I feel.
No, you don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel you, but I get it. Okay.
But
I
like,
get it.
there's
Yeah,
just
you
so much. Like, I would give anything right now for him to be with Charlie.
What
I
always
know.
bothers
Like-
me is the fucking stupid ass excuses they use. Like
Yes.
when people are getting divorced, the stupid excuses they give
Irreconcilable
to get the
differences.
kids or to get alimony, like she could have had a career. That shit bothers me. That shit fucking bothers me.
I
Just
don't
the
like it when they
stupid-ass
jump to
excuses.
like the woman's. Oh, he beat me.
Well, what did he do?
Well,
He beat me. He put
false
hands on me.
accusations are another animal.
Yeah.
That's something different.
And I'm not saying
Define
guys
beat
don't.
Me.
I'm not saying guys don't. There are a lot of shitty people out there that will put hands on women, and that's a whole nother episode, a whole nother thing we can get into. But the excuse going physical when it's wrong and when it's a false accusation, there's a special spot in hell for you. Like if that man literally never put hands on you, and you in a courtroom or somewhere, you want to say, "Oh, he beat me," or "He hurt me," he hit me. That's a line you don't come back
A lot
from.
of it's these like hyper-feminist lawyers lawyers and shit.
I was gonna say hypo is kind of slow.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It might be slow.
I fucked that up.
Hyper.
But you get these like feminist crusaders that I'm a lawyer that specializes in divorce, I think that's part of the problem too. It's a big biased, fucked up system.
I think if
That's
you're
what we're talking about tonight. Is just fucked
personally,
up, broken systems.
if you're a
It's
lawyer,
kind of us.
if you're a lawyer and you specialize in divorce, I think you're going to hell. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. Well, the laws themselves, we have no fault divorce or whatever they call it, and
Yeah.
now magically the divorce rate's like 70%.
I would love to get
something fucking stupid.
a lawyer on here that specializes in divorce, just to ask them questions and pick their brain.
I can't remember who. I was watching somebody the other night, and they said, "Well, if we didn't have no fault divorce, maybe people would think a lot longer and harder about who they're shacking up with."
No, absolutely not. I think people would still.
I think people would still be stupid, but I think
Yeah.
there would be some people like
I
that would. Well, I mean, if you're getting married and you're already thinking about divorce or whatnot,
right. You shouldn't be getting married.
Should I be with this person because what if we get divorced? You shouldn't be with them.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like if I run into Dad and he hugs me before he says anything to me, he watched this episode. I'm gonna
You're
get
welcome, guys.
Really uncomfortable. No, well, because
Yeah, when Rachel's not here, it's just hate and rage.
we didn't we give
I
mom
tried to
props
keep
too? We did give mom props in this episode, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
What did we say?
Yeah, for thinking
Yeah,
things
for
through.
thinking things through.
She's
How
a-
she was
thinking-
2020 and your dad was 19.
Yeah,
She's
Mom
a
was
fucking
ahead.
wizard, dude.
Mom was ahead of the time.
I love mom.
She anticipated shit going downhill.
But
When
that's-
she was a
but
kid,
that's-
she had the world they lived in was different. She was just sitting there on her bike on that street corner thinking, "This shit's not gonna last."
But
Yeah, that was mom.
but
That was Mom.
She's a
that's
wizard.
also like the mother instincts. Like you literally,
You think your kid is in danger
You
of
literally
vaporizing
poop a
in
kid
front
out and you're like, I
sorry, what?
have to...
Come again?
Listen, that's
better
what
hope
you
Dad
always
doesn't
said.
watch this,
Anyway,
'cause-
you
No.
literally have a
That
child,
comments.
and that's literally all you worry about
Please
is
don't ever
how
say that
do
ever.
I
You
protect
said it in front
this
of Dad
kid.
one time. You got so fucking pissed.
What?
What Rachel just said.
Pooped a kid out?
Yeah.
Listen,
said
you
poop-
say it all
You
the
s-
time.
You said
did.
it in front of Dad one time because he came to me and was just bitching about.
Anyway,
Why?
Because it's your
because
child.
it's not, yeah.
It's your child.
But it was just, it was,
Technically,
what?
We're not gonna go.
No,
no,
we're
this is
not.
another episode because I did want to bring this up. Okay, yeah. I didn't know Dad got
Can I finish
upset
my
about
thought?
He
that.
got pissed
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
you said that. That was like that struck a nerve with him.
Why?
But no, what I'm saying
Because
is
you're an
that
uncouth Neanderthal.
once you have that child, literally the only thing that you are worried about is protecting that little person, and you are literally going to do everything you can to not have anything bad happen to them.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That's always like freaked me out. Just about like
Listen, I was scared as hell.
I don't like being around kids.
I know.
Because they make me nervous. They're running around.
know.
And, you know, we'd
I
always.
can tell.
All my friends had kids. I didn't. We'd be
Eric's really good
we'd be
with Charlie, though.
I
we'd
know,
be
he is.
partying and whatnot.
It's fantastic.
And I was always just like I couldn't relax because I was like, afraid they were gonna fucking vaporize in front of me.
But that's also a good quality.
And I was always just like on edge because I was like, the kids are just fucking
Because
making
that
me
means you
nervous.
care.
They're just making me nervous.
Yeah, but the first time you hung out with
Sometimes
Charlie,
they're annoying, but
and like the
sometimes
first
they
time,
just-
Oh,
they just-
I'm
they
not
just-
gonna.
they
I'm not
just
gonna.
flat out make me nervous.
I'm not
Sorry.
gonna deny that they're
the
not
first
annoying.
time that like Charlie hugged you or like ran up to you or sat on your lap or something, it was something different, right? Like you felt something.
Yeah,
Like you
that's my
felt something.
nephew.
Okay, I just want to make sure because it
Yeah.
was the way you interact and how excited he gets when you come around and stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell you're more than
He
just.
loves his Uncle Icky.
Yeah. And he always he asked me.
And if he
every
ever stops
day,
calling
"Is
me
Uncle
that,
Icky
I
coming
probably
over?"
will cry.
Yeah, I know.
Because I love it so much.
He
I
actually,
like that nickname.
I've
I
never
think
heard
we
him say Eric.
We should
No,
stick with it.
he's always said Uncle Icky.
But
But yeah, that's cool. He always asks me every day, "Is Uncle Icky coming over?" I was like, "No, bud, it's fucking Tuesday. Like, come on." And he was like, "Is he coming over this weekend?" I was like, "It's Monday, but yeah, he's
it's a
probably
long
coming
way
over."
off, but I gotta get through.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
"You know,
first.
he
I'm
comes
like,
over every
Bud.
weekend.
I'm like, Bud, you know you go to Uncle Icky's house every single day.
He'll come home from mom's and he'll be like, "Yeah, Uncle Icky said this. Uncle Icky did this."
Yeah, I found this in Uncle Icky's room.
Yeah.
He pulls out my CZ. Fuck. That's another thing that makes me nervous. I gotta put up.
Uncle Icky said this is
Dead
a
bolt on the
9/11
door
or
or
something.
something.
It's a 1911 there, bud. But yeah, or 107.
Yeah. That was a good
Some
one.
good
It's a good
thoughts,
discussion.
man. Anything you guys want to say in closing?
We're trending away from the comedy aspect a little bit, but I think we're still having
Yeah, but
I
very
don't
good
know.
No.
discussions.
I'm still getting feedback from people that are saying our show is very funny and very entertaining. I will take entertaining over blasting out loud funny any day.
Well,
I want us to stay
The whole thing
entertaining.
doesn't need to be a bit, but
I also think that
I
it's
like
also
it when we start going back and forth
Yeah.
like a couple of mirrors, just
We do.
yeah.
fucking slinging it at each other.
But
and
I also
shit.
think people still listen because it's relevant topics.
Yeah.
Like
You don't want to just be poo poo pee pee humor. That is the worst.
yeah.
No, that's the worst humor. I'm talking about funny, clever little quips
Ah.
we throw at each other.
We still throw those.
Personally, I
Me
think
talking
sketch comedy is
me
the
talking
worst
about
humor.
dying at work and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like, Gary liked that one.
We can do a whole other episode after this where I just talk about
Pee pee poo
how
poo.
this fucking week went. Another time.
No, I think we're gonna wrap this one up. Eric said something about wanting to post in it, edit and post it tonight. We didn't make it to get the new camera yet for the separate angles to do that. Hopefully
I fell asleep.
tomorrow. Eric took a nice long
He took
hard.
that nap and then had that boner when he woke up. That awkward boner.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Now I'm uncomfortable. My wife's talking about my brother's awkward
You
boner.
were.
He
I was
mentioned
uncomfortable.
it.
I couldn't.
I was
I had
But
to
just
you
wait till it
remembered it though. You
I
were
had to
like,
wait till it went away before I could go upstairs.
why? Okay, good point. So
I was wearing those cargo pants. It would have been really tight. It would hurt.
look like Bob Vila's all fucking erect in my basement.
Like I'm stealing a fucking steak or something.
Did you guys order salami?
what you smuggling in there?
More like beef sticks. I got a thin dick.
Big
But
long.
big loin.
What is it?
Jesus
What was the big?
Christ.
It was the big long. Wasn't that pork loin or something? Dad would get it in
Pork loin?
that big long
Yeah.
tube. He'd
Yeah.
call it elephant PP.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like 7, and he's like,
Dad's names for
so
everything.
it gets elephant PP.
He
I'm
does
like,
have a name for
whoa.
everything.
Yeah. Rooster butt. Charlie had some rooster butt the other day. We had to put chapstick on him. In closing,
that day he said jive ass turkey, I fucking shit.
Your dad?
Yeah, what he's talking about, I can't remember what he's talking about, but he said jive ass turkey, and I was like, I fell down on the kitchen
it's
floor.
like I was watching Shaft.
Your dad said, because Charlie, obviously started writing his name, and your dad is taking all the credit for that. I said, I think Papa's getting a big head.
Dad, who's now hugged our son more times than he's ever hugged either of us combined, and he wants to take credit for the fucking writing. Dad, I love you, and I forgive you.
You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Amazon Music. You can find us on Deezer.
Deezer nuts!
In Ghana. You can
On
find us
Ghana,
in Ghana.
not in Ghana. We might be in Ghana one day. I hope
In
not.
Ghana.
I hope not.
Videos on YouTube.
Instagram at Harmsway8993. TikTok. I fucked that up, didn't I? TikTok at Harmsway8993. Instagram. We have to change that too. At Harmsway Podcast.
Yep.
YouTube Harmsway Podcast. I almost said .com. We do not have a .com yet. Give us a like, shout out, comment. We got one comment. We have one fucking comment.
You do?
Yeah, read it.
Okay.
Somebody else, please give us a comment.
Very inspiring.
Feedback. Yeah, totally.
Oh, God.
Share, subscribe.
Give
Just
us
tell
a
a
like,
friend.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
We now have 7 subscribers. Thank you very much.
5
Mom.
of them work with me.
It's
No,
fine.
that's not true.
One of them is me, so sorry about
One
that.
of them's me.
One of them's my wife. 2 of them are Harmons. Alright, but yeah, that's all we got. Filming tomorrow. Might have double camera set up. Anything you guys gotta say?
No, that was a good one.
Very good. Love you guys, as always.
Peace.
Bye.
Deuces.
Auf Wiedersehen. I did it.